This is going to be a short video of my experience running the Waterford Viking half marathon. I was actually injured at the start of the month and then I got sick for 2 weeks afterwards, so my fitness really has taken a hit. So I'm not too prepared coming into this race. I've only just got back this week, but I've already signed up for it, so kind of have to do it now. I've done this race 2 times before. Last year was a 140 flat, then the year before it was a 157. No idea what I'm going to get this year, just try to finish the race. This race is usually held in mid-June. I got lucky today because there's loads of cloud covers, but last year I remember it was really hot and the last 3 miles you'd really start to struggle. Just heading up on the start line now, you can see all the pacers with their balloons blowing in the wind there to the left. They've probably been warming up for the last hour, but I'm just trying to get a few kilometers in before the race. Got half an hour to go.
You give one clap, so it's drum. Have a great race, guys! Woo! 3, 2, 1.
I know it goes without saying, but at the start of these races it's always important not to go off too fast, but that never really happens with all the crowds and the loud noises. And today is no different. I did the exact same until about a mile in. I looked down at my heart rate, up at 180 already. I was like, oh god, it's going to be a long race. The course today consists of running from the mall up along the quay, and then you go across the suspension bridge. Then that brings you onto the greenway, where you go out for, I want to say, 6 kilometers, and then you come back for another 6, and then you split off along the greenway back into Waterford. I want to say this course is flat enough. It is on the greenway, but once you get to the turnaround point, you go up into this park. It's fairly steep there, but by the time you get back down, your heart rate should be back to normal. Just coming up on the first water station of the race now. I think there's about 4 of them in total, but it's always carnage at the first one. It's so hard to dip in and then dip out. My strategy is just to get out, in and out as fast as possible, or else you're going to get tripped over by everyone else. I'd like to say I feel good at this stage of the race, only about a mile in, 2 kilometers, but my heart rate is already fairly high, so I'm just going to try to dial it back a bit, because there is still more hills to come until the greenway. Then I should be good for then. Here's me completely missing the bin, actually almost hitting someone. Now it's time to go down the on-ramp, across that massive suspension bridge, which is about a mile long, and then onto the greenway. It's actually surprisingly windy on it. Just about hitting the 5k mark now. I don't know if you can see it on my watch, but it says around 25:30. So around the finishing time of 1:47 or 1:48. But we'll see how it goes. Never been so happy to see the greenway in my life. Going over that bridge was really hard. I'm really tired. I'm only just about 4 miles in. But thank God I'm on a nice flat greenway now. Absolute tunes coming from the DJ at the side of the road, obviously helping people, motivate people to run more, I guess. Nothing too exciting for this part of the race. We will probably see the leaders start to come back on us in a few kilometers, which is just sickening. But like I said, now it's time to relax and get into a groove, because there's still a long way to go with this race.
What you gonna do when they come
Here comes the leader of the half marathon, looping back already, and we're still going out. Absolutely flying. I'd say he's a pace of around 3:10 to 3:20 maybe. Here I am running 5 per kilometre. I'd like to say I've settled into a nice enough groove at the moment. My heart rate's coming down a little bit, and my pace has even gone up a little bit as well, to 450 or so. Average heart rate of 183, and obviously 202 is the highest, probably in the last 500 metres or so, where I was pushing a little higher than I'd like, but it's still a start. Not sure where I hit 10k, but I'm pretty sure it's around here somewhere, so here are the splits. A little faster than the first 5k, so looking towards a negative split towards the end. Don't know how I'm going to hold up though. Bit of a cloggage coming up here, considering we have runners coming back and a lot going forward on this very narrow bridge. A great track design. There's one of my teammates coming back on me, well ahead of me. We're actually getting to the end of the greenway now, so we're about to head into a park and go up a few hills, which is always nice. Just past mile 7, so over halfway. I was actually feeling a lot better than I did at this mile 2, but that's all going to change now with this hill coming up. By far the worst part of this whole race was going up this. It doesn't look like anything on the GoPro, but trust me, it wasn't nice. Heart rate was up at about 190 here. Everyone else was struggling as well, so for the next 500 metres or more, we didn't really get back to pace till we got back onto the greenway. Trying to recover my pace up along here was extremely hard. My legs just wouldn't turn over. I know it's flat, but everyone around me was running about the same pace, just trying to recover. Running back down the hill now feels so much nicer, but still doesn't feel great, obviously, because I've just ran up the hill. So about 420 kilometre or 430 even here. Can't really remember, but I did make it up in the end. I was looking at my splits. Like I said, I can't really remember where I hit 10 miles. It was about here, give or take a kilometre or 2. I'm not arsed to go check the data, but here's my splits anyway. Faster again. You can actually see where I went up the hill. That's the slowest kilometre. Actually nearly choking to death trying to drink this water. I just ended up pouring most of it out. I only got a sip in. My stomach doesn't really want to take any more liquids at the moment. I've already taken 3 gels. One before the start, one at 5 miles, and then one at just after that hill. So I'm done taking in liquids now until the very end. Put the sound up there for a few seconds just so you can hear my breathing. Getting really tough now. I skipped on a good bit of the greenway because it's literally just this. So obviously see some people walking there getting tired towards the end. We're at about 18 kilometres, so about 2 miles to go. I'm thinking in my head I'm never going to make this because it's all just slight uphill. Miraculously though, my pace has increased once again to about 4:45, so we're looking for a nice negative split. Even closing in on finishing time around 1:45, maybe even below if I can push at the end. Only 2 kilometres now from the finish. We're just over a mile. I'm literally fighting with every will in my body not to stop. Going up another hill, I think it's the very last one before the end. Then it's down along the quay and this little alleyway, and then we're there.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, yeah, please.